The seventh-day Sabbath in the New Testament. The seventh-day Sabbath is not repeated as a commandment in the New Testament. So does this mean that the seventh-day Sabbath is not for us today? Let's take a look. Let's start off with asking, what else is not repeated as a commandment in the New Testament? We have necromancy, cross-dressing, bestiality, and kidnapping. None of these commandments are repeated in the New Testament. So are they okay to practice today? Of course not. So, whenever you hear the argument that the seventh day Sabbath is not for the New Testament believers anymore because it's not mentioned in the New Testament, feel free to call it out as an argument from silence, and that is making a conclusion based on the absence of a statement. Just because the seventh day Sabbath is not explicitly repeated in the New Testament as, "Thou shalt keep the Sabbath day holy," this doesn't mean it's not to be kept, just like with the rest of these commands not found in the New Testament. Even though the Sabbath is not repeated, we have much evidence that it's supposed to be kept today. In Matthew 24, Yeshua prophesied of the future destruction of the temple, which happened after Yeshua's ministry. He said to pray that your flight from Jerusalem will not be on the seventh day Sabbath. Why mention that if the Sabbath was no longer practiced? Matthew 24, verse 20. Pray that your flight may not be in winter or on a Sabbath. This is a huge sign that Yeshua is expecting his followers, the New Testament believer, to keep the seventh day Sabbath even after his ascension to the Father in heaven. Also, don't forget to always bring up Matthew 5:17-20. Matthew 5:17. Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. That is, do not think that Yeshua came to abolish or cease practicing the seventh day Sabbath. He did not come to abolish, but to teach it. Matthew 5:18. For truly I say to you, until heaven and earth pass away, not an iota, not a dot will pass from the law until all is accomplished. That is, until heaven and earth pass away, not the smallest dot of Torah, which would include the seventh day Sabbath, will end or pass away. Here in the New Testament times, we look outside our window and see that heaven and earth have not passed away. So, be assured that the seventh day Sabbath is for us today. And finally, Matthew 5:19. Therefore, whoever relaxes one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever does them and teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. So that is, anyone who relaxes the seventh day Sabbath and teaches others to do likewise will be least in the kingdom. And anyone who keeps the Sabbath and teaches others to do so will be called great. So after all this, I don't think the Sabbath is anywhere near abolished or replaced or ceased. Let's take our Master Yeshua's words seriously. Let's keep the seventh day Sabbath, for Yahweh, our Father, the Almighty, has made it holy. Deuteronomy 5, verse 10. But I show mercy to thousands of generations of those who love me and obey my commandments. This includes the seventh day Sabbath. Hallelujah. Please share this video with any Sunday Christian friends who are looking into the Sabbath. Thank you, and shalom.